Today we'll be taking a look at Baba Is You, a puzzle game with head-scratching puzzle designs and, can I speak candidly with you for a moment? I normally try to make these introductions pretty neutral, give some quick baseline information, maybe make a joke, and then let the rest of the review tell you whether or not it's good. But no. No, this is one of the best things I've played in years, and it's a push-block puzzle game. Yeah, those things that they shove into obscenely large game collections hoping old ladies will buy them for their grandkids, apparently those could be good. Well, maybe not those, but this is amazing! I have put 40 hours in here! Buy this game! Baba Is You doesn't have much in the way of flashy abilities for your character to exploit. You don't have a teleporter gun, you can't manipulate time, you push stuff. From minute 1 to hour 30, you push stuff. But it's what you push that makes it all work. I am being offensively literal. The game's rules are what is written with these word blocks. Not being able to walk through a wall seems like the function of a properly functioning game, but it's also very inconvenient, so... And that's a very tame and common example of what you can do with the system. Do you want to be an unkillable box god? Would you like to push the entire level or turn walls into your clones? Because those are things you not only can, but will have to do in this game. Which is what really separates Baba Is You from other games with somewhat similar, kooky, really should be game-breaking mechanics. It's not weird just to be weird. All of the strange interactions you come across have a purpose. Taking control of all the text on the level is a fun, bizarre little experience, but it's also the solution to a legitimately challenging puzzle. A puzzle that wouldn't be near as satisfying if it had a more orthodox solution. And that's what makes me love this game so much. The combining of words to change a level's behavior is a very interesting premise, one that as soon as I heard about it, I wanted to explore. But the depths of which it's explored in this game is insane! Just when you think you know all the ways that all of the things can be combined, mixed, and positioned to create puzzles, and you feel like you've not only beaten but mastered the game, so smug with yourself for finding that one hidden level, you discover that you haven't even found all the worlds, let alone levels, and then after, in spite of your incredible ignorance, you manage to stumble across the hidden Star World equivalent and think to yourself, this must be the end. You discover it's just a gateway to other secret worlds, which they themselves lead to other worlds that play like levels, changing and progressing as you beat levels in them. It never ends. 40 hours. 40 hours. 40 hours of masterfully crafted puzzles. But before I get into just how amazing the puzzle designs can be, I want to take a minute and recognize the unsung hero of this game. The feature that can so easily be forgotten amongst the glitter and glam of all the other elements of Baba Is You. The undo button is the only ray of hope you have in some of the more difficult levels. Being able to redo not just one wrong move, but go back to any state the level has been in up until that point saves you so much time and anxiety that I'm not sure the longer, more involved puzzles would even be playable without it. It's not some groundbreaking feature that's going to make you want to buy this game, but you would definitely notice if it wasn't here. Now with that credit given, let's loop back around to the puzzle designs. And the first thing to mention is just how varied they are. The fact everything can be a victory trigger, or anything else for that matter, means the puzzles aren't limited to a small set of goals. You can design puzzles with almost any kind of solution you want, and full advantage is taken of this. The sheer range of puzzles packed in here is amazing! Now, this isn't a case where no puzzle feels the same. In fact, most of the extra puzzles are just more limited versions of the level that unlocks them. But if you ask me to explain to you the style of puzzles that are in here, I don't think I could do it. It sort of runs the whole gambit. At first, it's pretty standard push-block puzzle stuff, and then you're controlling and trying to synchronize multiple characters. And after that, you're trying to find a way to create all the necessary rules with limited verbs and conjunctions. There's conveyor belts, limited number of movement puzzles, thinking with portals, planning, positioning, and timing automatic NPC movements, lava! It's got everything! The puzzles not having a rigid formula allows for so much of the rule manipulation system to be shown off that the novelty never really wears off. This deep in and I'm still impressed by it. How this game managed to avoid stagnating after over 200 levels is completely beyond me, but let's not focus so much on the variety that we forget to mention the quality. And I think at this point, it's pretty clear that I had fun playing through these puzzles, so I won't waste time talking about how every new level put a smile on my face but what you might like to know is how challenging they are. And let me just put it like this. I don't claim to be good at a great many things, but I know how to blast through a puzzle level. So it was quite surprising when Baba Is You stopped me dead in my tracks multiple times. Which is not to say the game as a whole is ultra difficult and only for the most hardcore of puzzle enthusiasts, but when you get to the last part of a world and all the variables that have been introduced over the course of the early levels are being used to their full effectiveness, it takes a lot of effort, and your screen probably looks like this. I know how to blast through a puzzle level. Oh, this is doing wonders for my ego. But one of the great things about the difficulty curve in this is how it's sort of split into two. There's the expected overarching increase in difficulty from world to world, but also the curves within those worlds from the first level to the last ramp to such a degree that the first level of the most difficult world is more manageable than the last level of the easiest. And when combined with the unlocking of new worlds only requiring the completion of about half of the previous world's levels, it's a really good way of keeping veteran players challenged without gating off content for people who want to take things a little easier. Which is made even more accessible by having levels unlock in batches, so if you're having trouble with one level, odds are there's another one, even within that world, that you can try in the meantime. So even though Baba Is You is a pretty difficult game, it does a really good job of not letting that force people away. Although, that isn't so much the case in the late game, because those levels are pretty constantly impossible. By the way, this Push Button Puzzler has a late game? So simmer on that for a bit. Though I don't actually have that much to say about the late game. Past the unique meta levels within levels design I mentioned earlier, I do want to applaud how it really embraces the fact that all of these are secret levels by making it so winning isn't necessarily the objective, and is oftentimes insultingly easy, actually, which really hammers home that the kid gloves are off. These puzzles will more than likely end a lot of people's cheatless playthroughs. Certainly would have ended mine. If I could have found a single walkthrough that was even aware of its existence at the time. Someone save me from this night! Oh, wait, no. No, I got it. We're good. And unless you want me to go completely overboard and start an hour-long rant about how much I love this game, which I could do for you, that's really the long and short of it. Baba Is You is one of the best, if not the best puzzle game to come out in the last decade. As for complaints, I looked for them. I really did, but even Old Reliable came up short. It's a pretty good options menu. The closest thing to a problem I have with this game is I'm not a big fan of the puzzles that rely on interactions that are never demonstrated to you and are less than obvious, seeming more like glitches than a tool in your toolbox. Like how overlapping things with shift to make them continuously move in the direction they are facing is needed to solve this puzzle. Or, in this one, you have to push text into yourself, something that doesn't normally happen. But even that I'm in two minds about, because though I do disagree with forcing players to use these kind of wonky tools, it's the best example of how nothing is off limits in the design of puzzles. And that's my favorite thing about this game, so it could go either way, really. At the end of the day, Baba Is You is a spectacular puzzle game with content for literal days, and it cost $15. The only conceivable excuse for not getting this game I can think of is if you have a condition that makes puzzle games exceptionally painful. Or illiteracy, maybe. I don't know. Give this guy money.